further segment on the journey that cancer and I are taking together down the road or up the road of life. It's a beautiful morning, almost spring-like in quality, and the sun yet again shining in through the leaves of the little tree, which I have mentioned. By the way, the tree is not in Hong Kong, it is in Oxford. And I also have a few trees in the back garden as well. Let's return to cancer and the onward treatment of it. I have learnt that cancer treatment and the quality of life depend fundamentally on the relationship which the patient has with the oncology team. And the oncology team is not just purely the oncology, they're also the urologists and others who have an interest in one's improved care or continuing life or whatever. So the renal department, the cardio department, all of these are relevant. And how one actually progresses is affected very much on the rapport, the communication that goes between the patient, me, and the consultant, in this case, now the marvellous Ursula McGovern and her team at UCLH. I have mentioned that communication indicating that a quality of life has a 3-month extension was fairly astounding and is not something to be recommended to patients. Except, of course, that it did mean that I decided to fight very hard for my 3 months back in 2018, which has now become 4 years, and which is likely to be at least another 1 to 3 years. And fighting for one's life means that in addition to doing the meds, trying to do the exercises, and I will touch on exercises again for the first time in a few minutes, is that the other matters which can cause quality problems, such as early onset dementia, Alzheimer's, etc., also have to be considered. At the moment, I may have late onset dementia, but at the moment, touch wood, I don't seem to be having any of that nature. But I have been very fortunate to link up with Dr. Harry Roberts of Surrey University, who is in charge of a fitness scheme for those people like myself who are comorbid, have various things go wrong with them, and how to make their life more bearable. And initially, I was a little bit scared by Harry's regime. Would that be too much? Could I do it? But he's such a gentle man in every sense of the word that he has managed to inspire me. So now I think we've been talking over a nearly 12-month period. He's got me into a regimen of mostly sedentary, but some standing exercises. And I am surprising myself as to what I can do. Having been extremely fit in the past, no exercise, just physical work. with the exception of fencing, and I was quite a good fencer back in the day, and we're talking about very much back in prehistory. I liked fencing. If you're good at something, you like it. And so the sabre, épée and foil were good weapons to use. Man against man. Anyway, so I've now got to the stage where I do 20 minutes, 15 minutes exercise routine every day. It doesn't matter when you do it, but it's really important to do it at the same time every day, just for the sake of routine. So my routine, which is pathetically childlike, is to say, right, I'm going to start cooking at about 5, start cooking, and then I will do my exercises. And by heavens, the robin has come out to say good morning again. Isn't that lovely? Oh, I think this robin has been, sorry, not this robin, the robin and the robin's forebears have been here for about 10 or 12 years, and it's such a delightful sight to see a robin quizzically looking under leaves for a late breakfast. Anyway, so that is good. I'm on chemotherapy at the moment. This is the first dose of chemotherapy, which started 14, 15, 16 days ago. And when you consider the first in 18 years, it's incredible, really, when you think about it. I mentioned that I had opportunities to go on 3 trials, but because of the problems with my remaining bit of kidney, that the trials were unable to be pursued. So Ursula said chemo 2 Fridays ago, and I had a very pleasant 2¼ hours being infused with the chemo. I don't know what reaction I was expecting, but it wasn't what I was expecting. In other words, no faintness, no nausea, no giddiness, no reaching. Just one day, on the Saturday morning, I had crackling in the lungs, and I thought, oh my God, crackling in the lung, not good. It went the next day, absolutely vanished. So that was marvelous. So I'm telling you this because there are good moments on this journey which you can relish. There are many bad moments, as I've emphasized. The loss of companionship. The thought of sharing intimate moments with somebody when I am incontinent and I have to wear an incontinence pad, though this may be changing. I think I'm having an operation at the end of this week to bring this little torture to an end. Is something which causes psychological problems of a massive degree. Anyway, also social events, anything like that, you wonder whether the incontinence protection is going to be sufficient to protect you. And that brings me back to the loss of confidence, which I had in the 2005 to 2006 and 7. There are so many instances of instances of where if men, you guys, you people, or your men friends or whatever, could have taken early warning when none of this will have an effect upon you. You won't have it. You won't need it. More men die of prostate cancer in this country than any other than 2 other diseases. So it is a serious 30,000 men, I believe it is, 30,000 a year, of whom I will say nearly 20,000 die unnecessarily because early prevention could have stopped it.